What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XCN OnyxCoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Here we are at 1.438 cents, and I'm sure the bears were celebrating again yesterday with another 5% move to the downside. Still a higher low. Still a higher low. I've never seen crazy people celebrate so much for such bullish things going on, guys. Higher low, double bottom at play. I actually made the connection earlier that Swift coin. It's funny. It's funny because I'm sure a lot of people think I'm in denial with this thing, but it's like it's not denial. I just know what I'm talking about, and you just don't know what you're talking about. That's it. All it takes is time. We'll validate it. Don't you worry about it. But Swift coin here, I was literally making the comparison earlier today that we had this double bottom, and that XCN and Swift coin tend to actually perform similarly. So could Swift coin be a peer into the future days to come for XCN? Maybe, maybe not. Perhaps, you guys, we are going to validate the bears and invalidate C-Zar, and we are going to go down to these prices at about 1.3 to 1.1 cents and even potentially below 1 cent. Could we go deeper into the land of the sun? Absolutely, absolutely. But make no mistake, you guys, the land of the sun, the land of the rising sun, shall promote growth and prosperity for all who buy in this zone. Okay, if we get there, and I mean, I guess technically we're in there right now. To be completely fair, we're up 4% to start the day. Let's see if we're going to close the day green, or if I'm going to eat my words by the end of this video. Let's see if that's going to happen. So let's look at the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame here on the RSI. Getting oversold, rejecting the 60 time and time again, getting oversold, not getting overbought. Not a good look. Not a good look, I tell you. Rejecting the 50 area and then bouncing off the 40, a bit neutral. The ball is in the bull's court, but it could quickly get flipped back into the bear's court if we don't run with this. So what we need to see is a reading that doesn't just hit the 60 and bounce off of it. We need something that gets into the 60 and sustains readings into the overbought zone. If we do, I would assume that today would be much like the day that Swiftcoin had yesterday, if not even like a combination of the two. Maybe we see a rather nice pump day today. Hard to say. I want to look at something with volume real quick to maybe help validate all this. Let's see, moving down, volume, it's not really picking up or dying. It's just kind of staying the same, isn't it? Somebody said too, and I'm not picking on anybody by saying this, right? I want to point this out because there seems to be confusion as to what good volume is, you guys. We have a $466 million market cap. Anytime, just like a good rule of thumb, a good volume generally on a daily basis is considered to be something between like 5 to 8%. Okay, we have well over 10% in our market cap. We have well over 10% of that market cap in daily volume, and we have maintained daily volume like that for a while. And if we look at this on a daily time frame, we are at some of the lowest levels of volume that we've had. Sure, retrospectively, in consideration to these levels of volume over here, sure, it's very, very low. Sure, of course it is. But for the market cap, no, we are not experiencing low volume. Anybody that thinks or says or tells you that we need more volume to move up, you guys, we've actually got enough volume now to move up. It's actually really good to be consolidating and moving sideways and being at some of your most low volume areas and seeing something that's over 10%. That's actually really good. So the volume is nothing to be concerned about, right? And it's certainly not anything to be concerned about to the downside. Every time we move up, we're getting volume. People are buying throughout this range. The sellers are just keeping up the pressure, keeping the price moving down, but they're going to get exhausted at some point. I think we're actually starting to see seller exhaustion here, you guys. I don't know about you, but it seems like we are moving a bit differently now than we have throughout this whole range. It seems like we're moving a little bit more sideways over the past few days. If we look at this trend where we are, if I can get it, there we go, coming all the way down here, we are still below this trend line. All it would take to break out of this, all it would take to validate the bulls and invalidate the bears would be to move up today. You got to move up about 6% from here, 6.5%, which you're already up on the day 3.9%. So you got to add a little bit more to that, probably having over 10% day. But that's nothing for XCN. It can definitely see that in a very short amount of time. The 4 hour RSI, the 4 hour looks a bit more bullish to me than the 1 hour does. Okay, bouncing off of an area that we bounced off of time and time again. What we need to do now, my friends, is that this 4-hour candle needs to close either here or higher. We need to break above the 40. And I would say that even if we break a little bit above the 40, that's not enough. Like if we go to the 42 or the 45 and then we come back down, that's not enough to me. I'd like to see something that really like breaks through it, something that's above the 45, something that gets above the 50 and promotes growth all the way back to this overbought zone in time. Do we have to be overbought today? No, but the sooner the better, or just whenever it happens, that's also good. That would validate the idea that we are moving higher, both in the RSI perspective and then in the price perspective too. Make no mistake, we will break this trend line before getting overbought. So both of those things together, breaking the trend line and getting overbought in the 4-hour time frame. I mean, we had a little taste of being overbought here, and look at the move that it produced. I would assume we get a similar move, if not something bigger. Again, the target area that we're looking for to hit is about 2.6 cents. Unless we move lower, unless we move down to about 1.2 to 1 cent, somewhere in there. We could move lower, and then maybe our target area would be something at about the prices that we're at now. Pull back, find a higher low, go up there, pull back. You know, like who knows how it's going to stair step when it goes up, but we'll try and guess. We'll try and figure that out as we progress through this range. I don't know if I have really anything else that I want to say. We can look at some of the indicators because I've gotten some positive feedback on this. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to take away. I really need to get rid of the accumulation distribution because there's no need for this, I think. It's just not. I don't think it's a good indicator personally. Some people think it is. I don't think it is. The MFI is getting oversold, bouncing off of that as well. Going overbought, getting oversold. No bullish divergence there. RSI overall in kind of uptrend with its higher lows here. You can't really see it, but let me click on that. Right, higher lows here, maintaining that. So that's nice. Stochastics looking like they're pointed up as well. Hey, that's actually a good look on the stochastics, but 4-hour time frames don't really matter so much for stochastics. And then we do have bullish divergence on the 4-hour MACD as well. Now the daily RSI I think looks pretty good at the moment, right? As long as we can keep closing higher. If we do get oversold, it's been a long awaited journey, and again we're going to go to that 1.2 to 1 cent area, maybe 1.3 cent at the least. We did get another drive in the MACD. Now, unlike the RSI, once you see like triple bullish divergence, that tends to be the peak of it. With the MACD, you can see quadruple, quintuple, like whatever bullish divergence. It's not really as peculiar as the RSI. You can just see bullish divergence all the way through until you cross. What this is telling me is that it could be today, it could be tomorrow, sometime very, very soon, you guys. We are going to flip this thing green, and when we do, we'll likely start making this thing move back up toward the zero and above it. I would expect when the MACD gets above the zero, once we not the MACD, I'm sorry, the oscillators. When the moving averages get above the zero, I would assume that's when we can really start to look forward to ripping on this thing. Okay, we'll be moving up until then, but and at least not moving down, but really starting to pick up the pace is once these oscillators get above the zero. At least that's my theory here. The daily stochastics looking good, daily MFI looking fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. And then the LRO is, let's see, what's this thing telling us on the 1 hour? 1 hour time frame. Says that we invalidated our uptrend, but we've disrespected the hell out of this line. This might be an inaccurate read. One of the more inaccurate reads I've ever actually seen on this thing. It doesn't normally get disrespected like that, but that's okay. Crazy times that we're in, perhaps. That might be it. We need to get above this area here. If we get above 1.58 cents, we will be breaking above the downward sloping trend line that we've been in since the end of January. If we get above that area, we will likely be moving up higher, where we're breaking the downtrend and forming a new trend. And then on the LRO, of course, we're breaking the confirmation, invalidating this downtrend as defined by the LRO, of course, and probably starting a new uptrend. So I don't know, all good things, you guys. Good things take time. We can definitely move a little bit lower, but I don't think that we will. Time will tell. We'll see how it goes. I got nothing else for you. If you like the video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. Bye-bye.